right, guys, let's go ahead and cover what this odd object squat lift is all about. I really like this one. We don't do it all that often, but I really like it for the functionality of it. It mirrors some movements that you might experience in real life, where basically we've got something in a high position, we drop something, and we still have to maintain that posture while going down to get the other thing. So let's go ahead and talk about it. There's a lot of value here. Obviously there's a squat component, there's a deadlift component, and there's a ton of midline stability, right? So this is a really cool one. It does take some getting used to, and I would encourage that coaches, athletes, whoever's watching this, start out nice and easy, go light, get used to kind of the strange dynamic of it, but once you get there, you can start to challenge it with load. Now, I'm going to first show it with an 80-pound rubber stone and a 35-pound kettlebell. So first off, we have to get the stone, and you'll see another variation of this with the sandbag here in a moment, but essentially I have to take that, get it into a shouldered position, and we want to make sure that we're using appropriate technique for those two pieces, right? So let's go over the stone first. So hands to the outside, pick it up, lap it, wrap it high and tight to the chin and chest, right? Bear hug, and now up onto the shoulder. Now, from here, I'm going to have to let go with the left hand, but I want to be in position so that when I go down in this squat, I'm doing the least amount of extra stuff possible. So I've got this stone on my right shoulder, left hand comes down, I'm going to take it nice and slow, take my grip, stand everything back up, take it nice and slow, leave the kettlebell, stand back up. So that's one. Now, for our purposes, we're going to keep this guy up, right? So I might have to reposition, stand everything up, leave the kettlebell, right? And there's 2 reps, okay? When I'm done on that right side, I'll drop the stone, and now I have to pick it back up with the appropriate technique. Up, wrap it, roll, and stabilize, right? And again, hand can stay on there, but once I'm in position, then I basically need to have this hand free. So nice and slow, everything comes up together, back down, leave the kettlebell, keep the stone, leave it, keep it until you're done with that set, and then you can drop it, okay? So, as you can see, that's a pretty challenging movement. So, a couple ways you can make this a little more approachable early is the sandbag actually makes things a lot easier. It's got more surface area to kind of like sits nicer on the shoulder than the stone. So this is a good way to take this advanced movement and bring it down a little bit, right? So the sandbag, basically the same concept. Load it onto the shoulder, step to the bell, squat, stand, leave the bell, keep the sandbag. Right there, okay? So, obviously a lot easier. You can see I'm moving through that with a little bit more pace, a little bit more confidently with that. Some ways we can challenge it. Obviously, we can challenge up the upper position and maintain the lower position, or we can go a little bit lighter on the up, go a little heavier on the pickup. That's obviously a good way to go about it. Changing the objects that are up high is another way to kind of play with that spectrum of a little bit easier to a little bit more difficult. So loading objects and then reps, obviously. So in our case, we're going to be doing 3 right, 3 left in tomorrow's workout. So my word of advice to coaches, I would have folks start with the sandbag and work into a heavier kettlebell, and then if they want to challenge it a bit, they can bring in the stone and probably work back down with the kettlebell and maybe build that back up. So, but that's going to be the movement. Give it a shot. I think you guys will really like this one. Like I said, it's a very functional movement. We don't experience this type of scenario a lot in life, but I'm thinking of like moms, military operators, that kind of situation where I've got something here that I'm not going to put down, but I got to pick this thing up. So you've got to find a way to move your body safely and efficiently. So we might as well practice it in the gym. So hopefully you guys find some value from that. Let me know if you guys have questions, but that'll be the odd object squat lift.